As the US retreats further into isolationism under Donald Trump's America First agenda, China is rapidly filling the void, and nowhere is this shift more evident than in the Caribbean. From billion-dollar infrastructure projects to strategic trade partnerships and cultural diplomacy, China's growing influence is reshaping the region's economic and geopolitical landscape. But what does this mean for the Caribbean's future? Will the region pivot east, embracing China's ambitious Belt and Road Initiative? Or will it cling to its historical ties with the West? In this video, we dive deep into China's expanding footprint in the Caribbean, exploring the investments, trade deals, and soft power strategies positioning Beijing as a dominant force in America's backyard. Discover how this power shift could redefine global alliances and what it means for the Caribbean's sovereignty, security, and economic future. As we analyze China's growing influence in the Caribbean, you'll notice its presence steadily expanding, something that's unmistakable to those who've watched China's gradual and strategic encroachment across the region. Through a combination of strategic economic investments, ambitious infrastructure projects, and proactive diplomatic efforts, China has steadily increased its influence in this strategically important region. This multifaceted approach has not only begun to reshape the economic landscape of many Caribbean nations, but has also sparked discussions regarding its long-term implications for regional geopolitics and the balance of power in the Western Hemisphere. China's development financing in the Caribbean has become a key element of this shift. Much like on the African continent, China has become a major source of development aid for Caribbean nations. China's proliferation of development financing in the Caribbean has become a defining feature of its expanding regional influence. These financial engagements have provided concessional loans and grants for infrastructure projects, primarily facilitated through institutions like the China Development Bank (CDB) and the Export-Import Bank of China (Exim Bank). This approach to filling a void left by traditional Western donors is expected to increase under a Donald Trump presidency. It was most recently seen in the administration's closing of U.S. aid. These concessional loans typically feature interest rates well below market levels, some as low as 2%, making them highly attractive to economically challenged and indebted Caribbean nations. This, in combination with the provision of technical support on infrastructure development, seen mainly through contracts signed with China's Road and Bridge Corporation, has led to a notable resurgence in lending activities in 2022. In Trinidad and Tobago, for instance, China provided a substantial loan of $950 million to construct a children's hospital. Barbados also secured funding from China's Export-Import Bank with $121 million for the Scotland District Road Rehabilitation Project. However, none has benefited more than Jamaica, which has received more than 10 loans over the years, accounting for more than $3 billion in financing. The trading relationship between China and the Caribbean has also grown over the past few years. As of now, China is more than just a financing partner. It has emerged as a crucial trading partner for many Caribbean countries. Over the past 2 decades, China has significantly expanded its economic footprint in the Caribbean, transforming trade relations and becoming a pivotal partner. In 2002, the total trade volume was approximately $1 billion. But by 2019, this figure has escalated to $8 billion, with Chinese exports accounting for $6.1 billion and imports from the Caribbean at $1.9 billion. This surge reflects the region's appetite for affordable Chinese goods, similar to the United States. In contrast, trade between the United States and the Caribbean has been a cornerstone of regional economic activity for decades, with the Caribbean Basin Initiative (CBI) playing a pivotal role. While the United States remains the region's largest trading partner, with $30 billion in trade as of 2022, total trade volume has remained more or less stagnant since 2016, according to the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC. Moreover, in pursuit of his America First agenda, President Trump could modify or revisit existing trade agreements like the Caribbean Basin Initiative, CBI, which provides duty-free access to the U.S. market for many Caribbean products. Changes to these agreements could further push the region to engage more with China for its exports and as an import partner. By the way, if you're finding this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring you more content like this. Thank you. Over the years, China's cultural influence on the Caribbean has become a key part of its broader foreign policy strategy. Not everything is financial. As China's use of cultural influence has become a strategic component of its broader foreign policy, China has gone beyond financial support and has promoted programs and initiatives to foster cultural exchange, education, and understanding between China and Caribbean nations. One key vehicle for China's cultural influence in the Caribbean is the Confucius Institutes, which have expanded since 2006. There are currently 23 Confucius Institutes in Latin America and the Caribbean, offering Mandarin language classes, cultural events, and scholarships for students studying in China. The 11th Fish and Dragon Festival and the 2024 Chinese Spring Festival cultural event are both successful programs that the Chinese Embassy in Barbados has anticipated in recent years. Not just that, similar programs can be found throughout the region. China has also become known for its educational initiatives, which often offer scholarships and training opportunities to students from the Caribbean. These initiatives allow young people to pursue higher education in China, gaining exposure to Chinese culture and society, while developing skills to benefit their home countries upon their return. In one program alone, 22 college students in Dominica received education grants from China. On the other hand, in Jamaica, more than 200 Jamaicans benefited from scholarships and courses offered by the government of China in 2024, with 75+ full scholarship awardees. The purpose behind these efforts is quite clear. China's diplomatic efforts in the Caribbean are significantly influenced by its desire to isolate Taiwan internationally. The One China policy is a cornerstone of China's foreign policy. It asserts that Taiwan is an integral part of China and opposes any recognition of Taiwan as a sovereign state. China has successfully persuaded several countries to switch their diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to China by offering economic incentives and strategic partnerships. It has leveraged these new partnerships to push for Chinese support in the international sphere. For instance, Grenada switched its diplomatic recognition from Taiwan to China. In 2018, the Dominican Republic became the latest Caribbean country to follow suit by severing its long-standing ties with Taiwan and establishing formal relations with China. However, some Caribbean countries remain holdouts to this chain. For example, St. Lucia, which first recognized Taiwan in 1984, then switched to China in 1997, with China supporting the construction of the George Odlum Stadium before reverting to Taiwan again in 2007. Belize, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines maintain diplomatic relations with Taiwan, but are considering changing allegiances given the challenging international development environment ahead. China's engagement in the Caribbean is also part of its broader effort to reshape global governance structures and promote its development model. By engaging with smaller nations, China gains greater discursive power in international forums such as the United Nations and challenges traditional Western dominance. This strategy reduces Taiwan's international presence and demonstrates China's ability to use economic leverage to achieve diplomatic objectives. As for the future of the Caribbean, China's development model is being presented as an alternative to traditional Western aid models, which are often seen as conditional and less effective. As the United States continues its isolationist America First policy, It will be no surprise when China seizes on the dwindling influence of a once close ally to influence global governance, institutions, and shape international norms and standards in line with its interests. The Trump administration's focus on domestic issues and decisive international involvement has created a vacuum that China has effectively filled. Not to forget, the Trump presidency's unpredictability and emphasis on economic nationalism have also made the US appear less reliable as a partner, prompting Caribbean nations to seek alternative alliances. The implications of this trend are profound for a region with historically close ties to the United States. China's growing influence in the Caribbean enhances its economic and strategic presence and challenges US security interests in the region. The US has expressed concerns about China's role in critical infrastructure like the Panama Canal, so highlighting China's influence on a region close to the United States is less far off than it may appear. As the Caribbean stands at a crossroads between East and West, the choices made today will shape the region's future for decades to come. While China's growing influence offers new opportunities for development and partnership, it also raises questions about sovereignty and long-term stability. The Caribbean's ability to navigate this complex geopolitical landscape will determine its path forward. One thing is clear: the world is changing, and the Caribbean has the potential to emerge stronger, more resilient, and more connected than ever before. The future is unwritten. Let's hope it's one of balance, prosperity, and unity. What do you think about China's growing influence in the Caribbean? Do you believe the region should embrace closer ties with China, or should it prioritize its historical relationships with the West? How do you see this shift impacting the Caribbean's future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Check out this video on the top 10 Caribbean economies in 2025. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might be interested, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us grow. This is Caribbean Focus. See you in the next video.